Hello, new employee. I'm sure you are well aware of the issues that are prevalent at odds and ends, but I would like to go into more depth on the true nature of these issues. That the issues here at odds and ends boils down to one thing, and that one thing is office politics. Now, you may be asking, what are office politics? And in my opinion, office politics are the activities and behaviors that are used to gain power or keep advantages within a business workspace. Now, there are many examples of office politics, and these include lying, backstabbing, throwing others under the bus, and other nefarious acts. But office politics can be mitigated. One of the ways that office politics can be subdued is by not retaliating. And this may sound simple, but the act of revenge and trying to get back at others is innate within human nature. And being someone who doesn't retaliate and who takes things in stride and takes the high road can do a lot to help mitigate the inherent human nature to want to get revenge. So it'll help mitigate so many conflicts that may arise within a business setting in their race to gain power and status within a company. Another way to mitigate office politics and the negative drawbacks that may accrue as a result of office politics is by keeping workplace friendships. Workspace friendships are integral to keeping business relations within a company very, not contentious, and they're very essential in creating a business environment in which people want to show up to work and in which people are comfortable with the people they're working with. Because at the end of the day, if someone is not comfortable working with someone else, then obviously there's not going to be the type of business relationship that is necessary for keeping a good company work environment. And the third way on how to mitigate office politics is by avoiding keeping a workplace that lacks transparency. At the end of the day, transparency is the most important thing in a workspace. And this is because without transparency, people are going to be left in the dark, and at the end of the day, that will lead to contentious behavior between others, and it will also lead just to basically a lack of people being on the same page, and that will inevitably lead to conflicts, which is just another part of office politics. And so basically, I would also like to address the skills that are needed to become a leader, because in order to truly rise above the inevitable office politics is to become a leader in your office space, and it is also to act the part. And so one way of acting the part of being a leader is by having self-confidence in your abilities, but also confidence in the abilities of others. And so having self-confidence in your abilities is basically having confidence that you are qualified for the job, and having the confidence that your contributions to the job are necessary and are integral to the vision of your company. Because without having this confidence, you're an easy target to be torn down, and also there's no way to be a leader without being confident in yourself. How are you supposed to inspire confidence in others if you lack the necessary confidence that a leader must have? And also having confidence in your other teammates basically means that you don't speak to them in a demeaning manner. You see them as an equal. That is a very important skill that leaders must possess, as without being able to see people eye to eye, that will surely bring about, it'll bring about very contentious relationships in the office workspace, and it'll bring about lots of negative feelings towards you, which is counterproductive to becoming a leader. Another thing that leaders must have is they must lack arrogance and narcissism. And this is because arrogance and narcissism can be a detriment to gaining the trust of your colleagues. And arrogance and narcissism can also make you a target and basically make you unliked by your coworkers, who are so essential in making sure that your time at the company is truly fruitful, and that you are also gaining the most that you can from the company experience. And this also brings me to my next point, that leaders must have humility. At the end of the day, if leaders do not have humility, then they will not be respected by their peers and by their fellow coworkers. A third thing that leaders must have is an ability to be decisive, and be able to make the tough decisions. As if one is not able to make the tough decisions, then inevitably, I guess plans can go awry, deadlines will not be met, and things of that nature will occur. And the last thing that a leader must possess is selflessness. If a leader is selfish in their ambitions, and disregards the betterment of the group, then inevitably that leader, or that so-called leader, will be torn down because his actions made the rest of his group fail, and his pursuit of personal glory tore down the rest of the group's effort, and thus it also tore down his own effort. So if a leader is not selfless, then though it may seem to himself that what he's doing at this time is truly beneficial, if a leader is not selfless, then his actions will drag down the rest of the group, and it will basically be a detriment and ruinous to future aspirations for that person. And so one example of being a leader is by taking subtle control of a project that needs direction, or even lifting up a group member who is feeling down. And so what I mean by taking subtle control of a project that needs direction is, say someone in a group, or say like a group of 5 people in a company, are tasked with creating with manning a project, but no one steps up to the helm, and no one steps up to the helm and provides direction for that project. At that point, a leader will step in and provide direction, but not in a very bossy way that throws off the rest of his coworkers. A leader will come in, will step into the plate, and will give subtle command, or will take subtle command and will basically, I guess, make it so that people know that they are the leader, but that they also can see the leader eye to eye. And the other example that I brought up was that lifting up a group member who is feeling down, and that is very important, because if there's one, I guess I can put it like this: if there's one broken wheel in the wheelbarrow, the wheelbarrow will not run. And this can be applied, or this principle can be applied to the aspect of teamwork. As if there's one team member who is feeling down, and if there's one team member who is not basically putting in the work, or is in the right state of mind to put in the work, then the project can be derailed. So as a leader, it is imperative for that person to truly make it their responsibility to involve all team members and to accommodate for all team members. And yeah, so basically, those are all of the things in regards to office politics and leadership. And now I will be answering the questions. So if you have a personal problem with the new supervisor, you should definitely go talk to the supervisor and understand her point of thinking, her thought process in the new processes that she wants to undergo. You should try your hardest to understand her wavelength and where she's coming from, in order to truly grasp and truly formulate your own opinion on why the processes are beneficial or not beneficial. An employee can demonstrate positive coworker relations by truly getting to know coworkers, and this goes back to my point of keeping workplace friendships. A new employee can demonstrate positive coworker relationships by creating friendships in their work environment and truly building relationships that go beyond the office, as that will help that would help solidify relationships within the office, and also it'll help smooth projects and things of that nature. Leadership is important in non-supervisory roles, as a supervisor will not always be there to help I guess lead people every second of the day. There needs to be people who take charge, and there needs to be people who direct projects, and who have that sense to keep the company running, and to keep things running as smoothly as possible. And yeah, so basically that is my Deca recording. Thank you all.